Hi, First Kids. We're back. And remember, we have to tell you the rest of the story. But first, let's remember where we left off. God loved the world. And there was this little town with a wall around it, and that town was called Bethlehem. And at the time our story takes place, all the people were coming into Bethlehem to be counted, including Mary and Joseph.
So all of the people who were like Mary and Joseph were looking for a king. And you know that a king wears a crown on his head, right? Yeah, there's our crown. But this king was different than what anybody thought this king was going to be.
Meanwhile, in a field not far from Bethlehem, there were some shepherds taking care of their sheep. It was very dark that night, so very dark. And the shepherds were looking up in the sky, and all of a sudden, there was a light. And this light was so bright, it looked like the sun.
And speaking of suns, this is the part where we get to hear about the greatest gift that God could give us, because the king was born. And it wasn't the way that people thought this king would be born. And this king didn't look like people thought this king was going to look. This king from God, God's son, came into our world looking just like I did, looking just like Miss Susan did, looking just like your parents did, looking just like you did. This king came into the world as a little tiny baby. And this king was named Jesus.
And Jesus is the best gift God could ever have given us, because he came in the world to save us.
And so that's the story that we need to remember every Christmas, in fact, every day. And remember how much that Miss Trish loves you.
And Miss Susan loves you.
And God loves you so much that he sent Jesus.
You are a blessing.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.